Alrighty, what is up, y'all? We are back. Another episode of Nuclear Hearts, episode 34. I know what episode it is this time. There we go. Improvements over last episode. Last episode, to be fair, we didn't know which one it was. It had been a while. I had a whole kid born in between episodes, so cut me a little bit of slack, all right? But that was a fun episode. I couldn't wait. It's a week later in real life. Sometimes I record these episodes back to back. Sometimes I can only get to them like once a week. This one is a week later, and I was just craving this world the entire week. I am stoked. First things first, to recap, we found a massive desert. If you guys have been following along this series for a while, you know that we've been on the hunt for a large desert for quite some time. And we finally found it. And we're not even done exploring. We have some red desert, some terracotta, chunks of red desert. I have a lot of dry biomes like savanna and stuff, and then just some dead biomes. But then obviously the desert itself, and we're not quite done. You can see we found this power plant here, and it's in a desert that looks like it'll continue. This dead biome here looks like it continues. Found a lush desert, and obviously we're still up here, as well as just more drier biomes up here. We found over here, I think it was. Maybe not. I thought somewhere over here we'd found like across one of these drier biomes, deserts can still expand. So that was kind of, but the whole point of the last episode, was we wanted to raid this nuclear power plant, which we are still at. We ended last episode here, and we are picking up this episode here. Funny enough, this village got smoked. We came to this village, or came to this nuclear power plant with intentions of raiding it, and what ended up happening was it spawned smack dab in the middle of a village. Very unfortunate. Absolutely very unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and move this waystone a little bit further over to here. We're going to put it back down, and we're going to put it OG nuclear power plant. How about that? That way we know this was the first one we raided, and then we have a way to teleport back here if we wanted to. Since last episode, we're mainly focusing on the actual power plant. I didn't really raid the village, and I think there are a couple of structures in it that I wanted to check out. So we may do that real quick. Yep, first and foremost is going to be this storage building. Yeah, let me call it the right thing here. We went ahead and deactivated the village and put it in the chest in there, just because they were getting absolutely pummeled last episode. It was actually kind of sad. I felt bad for them, but it was kind of funny at the same time, to be honest. But yeah, this village was getting absolutely rolled. No, my inventory is still not sorted. So if you were hoping that I would have sorted it in between episodes, I hate to disappoint you. That is not going to be the case. I'll bounce up. I thought there was a blacksmith. If not, that's fine. We'll just move right along. It's really hard to tell what structures are in this village, because this power plant literally spawned right in the middle of it, man. You got to be kidding me. That is bonkers. I don't see a blacksmith. So we are just going to move on. And look at some of these houses are cut in half. I don't even know why. Like, the power plant didn't even spawn right here. That is very strange that it just got cut in half like that. That is a very cool looking lush desert. And we're going to get to it. We're going to continue to explore it. I'm going to try to talk a little bit less while exploring, just because last episode there was quite a bit of it. And I'll just cut to the video, or cut the video back if there's anything too crazy. We're going to go north and try to explore this desert up here, as well as whatever this other drier biome is called. To be honest with you, I can't quite remember what it's called. We'll bounce over there. But all right, I'll cut back. You guys aren't even going to believe that. I got one half bounce in. I lagged, so I couldn't even get a full bounce. Found another village and antenna, just like that, man. The amount of villages and antennas I have found in this journey, absolutely insane. Now, this is a decent-sized village, too, I think. Let's get a pic of it on the map. Yeah, it's a pretty big village. Holy cow, man. I just can't believe how much we found so far. I'm going to go ahead and loot, raid this. I'm out of supplies. Normally, I've been dropping off supplies to every single village I find, but that is not going to be the case. I'm actually going to steal this waystone, since we just put one at that other nuclear power plant as well. Alrighty, village has been looted. Nothing too crazy. Definitely some good items, but nothing absolutely, worth mentioning. And just bouncing in this direction, man, it looks like there's just more and more and more stuff. And it's just drawing me away from that desert, man. I think it's doing it on purpose, but all right, that's going to be my last bounce. Now let's bounce back into that direction and continue exploring. My goodness, man, I just can't stop finding villages and stuff. We got a dungeon next to a, actually, not even next to, literally intermingled with an HBM nuclear tech mod structure, like one of the radio buildings, like the one I live in. And then we got a village just above it on the hill. That is pretty cool. I'm not even going in these buildings and raiding them, to be honest. I'm just kind of doing a drive-by, just exploring them on the map. My goodness, man. Gee, I don't even know how to get into that building. The door has been taken over. We'll bounce up to this village. It's a kind of a funky village with some of the houses down in the river. How much you want to bet that's the storage building? I almost want to bet money that that is the storage building just because of how obnoxiously hard to access it is. Let's go check. I have a feeling that this is going to be the storage building. Oh, it's not. Wow. Okay, I would have. See, that's why I'm not a betting man. I don't bet. I don't gamble, and that's right there is why. I do not do it, man. I lived in Nevada for a decade. I do not gamble. Trust me, it's rigged. The odds are stacked against you. I just proved it, man. Don't do it. Help me blow my channel up so the very first sponsor I can get is like some gambling site. That'd be terrible, dude. No, I definitely wouldn't. Definitely would not. All right, let's go ahead and check the map. I think I'm going to keep this one. Let's see. Where am I? So I got a little off course. You can see I found a really cool lake and then some stuff up here. Nothing really notable. I didn't raid anything, just filled it out of the map. And then I was working my way back down and I found this. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep this village. Let's just name it. I think we're on Village 5. I named Village 5. Is that correct? Oh, it's Random Village 5, not unnamed. Yeah, it didn't sound right there. Random Village 5. All right, so at least I knew where I left off. That's something, I guess. More good news is, oh, no. Yep, that's not good news. I'm glad I saw that. I was going to say more good news is this village isn't active, so I don't really have to worry about the villagers getting hurt. It's not active because the town hall was destroyed. Now, funny enough, I found the storage building, and it's actually even less accessible than the other building in the river or the ravine, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to break in, man. Oh, there's not even anything in here. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's. I thought all the chests were going to be empty there. I guess there is a door. It's technically in another river. We'll count it. Shit. Ooh, that was close. I would have gone into the deep stuff too. That would have been a not fun swim. Alrighty, we've kind of looped back into the desert here. We're still exploring, nothing too crazy yet. We're about to get into the lush desert, which is why I came back. We found a couple of these, but none of them were really all that big biomes. This one doesn't look like it will be either, because we're getting into a red sand biome directly behind it. That is the power plant that we already raided last episode. There is one more power plant that we are going to raid this episode. I just want to do a little bit of exploring first. I think I mentioned that, just in case I didn't. That is to clarify, just kind of looking for cool stuff in here. What was that plant? Is that, okay, it's just like a flower. At first it looked like something cool. That's it, man. That was it. That actually is kind of sad how small this lush desert biome was. This red sand biome is picking back up. I see a desert temple here. I see more desert over in that direction, to be fair. Whoop, I walked into another thing. I saw a desert temple right over here when I was bouncing. So we'll go ahead and raid that. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if we found a desert temple yet in this Let's Play so far. I don't know if we have. Was that like a radio that I heard too? Was there like a radio? I heard like a noise, but I didn't take any damage. I don't know what that was. That was kind of weird. Okay, there it is again. That's weird. I don't know why it does that sometimes. I have no clue what that is. All right, first things first. I've always learned my lesson when it comes to these. You just don't even challenge it, right? You just don't even try to challenge a desert temple. You just dig down. You be smart. You be a coward. You don't be like Big Dick Randy and jump down just unprovoked. No reason to do that. And then, yeah, you mine the TNT. The first thing you do is mine the TNT. Don't open the chests. I've made these mistakes before. I've played this game before. Oh, God. A couple of really bad references there. I'm sorry. Alrighty. A couple of things. What's that? Blast protection. Nothing too spectacular so far in the chest. My inventory got full, so I wasn't able to get the last one. Let's go ahead and open up our inventory, see what we got. No other books. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Alrighty, there we go. Just like that, the desert temple has been raided. I don't have to get too ballsy, too crazy. It's that simple, guys. Don't even have to risk your life to raid these. The people that mine that blue terracotta right here in front of my bed, this, and then just jump down, you're ballsy, all right? I'll give you credit. I'm not that ballsy. But I feel like that only works like 80% of the time. I feel like at least 20% of the time, something crazy or unexpected happens, and then you just smoke yourself. That is a pretty crazy trap. I'm running over here because I see some oil sand, and you know I am a slut for some oil sand, so we're gonna go ahead and pick that up. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, man. I guess we're just gonna keep heading north, south, north, south, north. Oh no, yeah, I don't want to. I don't know what direction I want to go, to be honest. I guess we're gonna head a little bit more west. Yeah, we'll bounce west. Man, we got some more HBM structures up here. We got that radio building. I don't know what we want to call that over there. And then an antenna right here. So a couple of buildings that I like to tear down and loot. We'll come back for those at some point. You could just... Oh, I landed on a cactus. I was very confused what happened. I was going to say, you could see that this entire desert, while it's a combination of a bunch of different dry biomes, completely surrounded by like this acacia biome or savanna. Another dungeon. Who wants to bet that there is a village over there? I don't see too many dungeons. Yep, on their own. They're almost always accompanied by a village, is something we have learned. What type of wood is this village? I feel like we found one of this color before, but I have not seen one in a long time. Or have we seen one like this? This is a funky village. It's ebony wood. Definitely. I have this wood. It's not a new type of wood for me, but it is. Seeing the village made out of this type of wood, and the wood is so like dark. Obviously, I know what that's what ebony means, but it just I haven't seen the planks for this type of wood, or at least not built. And with the black wool on top for the torches, that looks kind of crazy. I kind of like it. It looks pretty clean. We may have to build with this wood type. Someone stepped on a landmine, I think. Let's type, we'll type dark village. There we go. It's kind of got like an eerie dark feeling. You know, at nighttime, this village would be scary. I mean, it would blend in. We have not found a blacksmith in a while, and that kind of shocks me. I'm going to be honest. There's no blacksmith here. I did not even find this storage building. I didn't really look for it. Do I care? I guess I'll do a lap. If I find it, I find it. If not, I don't care too much. I imagine it's going to be right down here. It's probably this one, since this one's the hardest to access building. Let's see. Nope, it's actually not. Well, it's not too terribly hard to access for the first time. I'm just kidding. It's not the first time, but it is rare that a building is, or the storage building is that easy to access. I am actually shocked. I see a missile silo on the map in the top right corner, and there's also a standalone village building. So we're going to bounce this direction just to make sure there's no other villages or anything too crazy. Nope, I don't see anything. Looks like the edge of the village. And then, yep, here we go. We are going to bounce down into this thing. I know I say it every time I find one, but by far probably my favorite structure. These things are awesome. They just look cool, for starters. And then B, when you raid it, there's a chance that there's missiles inside. How could you hate that? That is like the coolest opportunity ever. And I keep forgetting that these chests have dust sometimes. And I keep breathing in the dust. We got 3 missiles, Bunker Buster and 2 Incinerary missiles, man. And an airstrike designator. I mean, I just kind of skipped over that like that wasn't a big deal. That's pretty sweet. Also, you get a missile launch pad. Who in their right mind wouldn't want an extra missile launch pad? I know I want it, so we are absolutely going to snag it. Go and throw all that up there, and our inventory is looking pretty sad. Alrighty, man. We are right here. We're going to bounce back and fill out this little chunk here, and then proceed south. Let's see if we can't do that. Whoa, that is a structure with a gold block underneath it. I realized last episode I found one of these, and I just mined it without saying anything. It's because I found it before, so if that was your first episode you watched, like, well, how did he know that was there? Oh! No, this one's actually a spawner. I thought a gold block spawned underneath it, but no, I'm actually incorrect. I'm glad I came over here and checked. This is the spawner version for whatever reason. That's still kind of cool. I'm going to mine it. It is a husk spawner, which isn't all that great, but who cares, man? See, I always feel bad because we've adventured so much, so there's so many structures we've raided time and time and time again. So I just kind of waltz by them like they're nothing. But if this is your first episode or you're relatively new here, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, what was that? What was that?" And I just kind of go right by it without saying anything. So I feel bad for you if you're new and you haven't really had a chance to watch other episodes, so you haven't seen me already explore some things. I'm sorry, but hey, it gives you a reason to catch up. There's a radio. So I was talking earlier. I was like, "Hey, man, is that a radio I hear?" And it wasn't, but that is one. I will show you this structure because I love pointing these out when I find them. This is a structure. The best way I can explain it is this radio is emitting a frequency or a sound that basically melts my brain when I get too close to it. That's like the simplest way I can explain it. I'm going to get close to it, and you're going to see I'm going to get nauseous and take damage. Now, yeah, the radius isn't all that bad, you can see, but the second you step foot within that radius, man, you get absolutely smoked. It is annoying. It is absolutely annoying. And I'm going to wait for that to wear off, and we're going to take a shot at it. The only reason I carry this rocket launcher is for these radios. Oh. You got to be kidding me, man. There we go. I was going to get sad if two of them didn't work. I thought that first one was a just direct hit, but apparently not. That is a bummer. Let's go ahead and collect all of this dried sand. Is what it is called. Why are there zombies? Where did you guys come from? You guys come from a cave or something? Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the cave they came from. I was going to say, alrighty, man. We are getting close to that second nuclear power plant that we were going to raid. We're not going to do it yet. My goal was to fill out the entirety of the desert first. And that is still my goal. Oh my god, there's another nuclear power plant. Oh my goodness, there's two. Holy crap, dude. That is freaking sweet. We're only going to be able to raid one this episode, I think. Preferably, I'd like to go home and rearm and reequip a little bit. Get a couple extra tools. But that's two nuclear power plants side by side. We got another one of those spawner structures here, too. This I will check out. It is still a husk spawner, so that did not change. Unfortunately, that is okay. Let's continue exploring, man. So there's two nuclear power plants left that have yet to be explored. That's cool. We've already raided a third one. You know, 43 episodes in, technically 44 now, but, on the 43rd episode is when we found two. But 42 episodes of nothing. Couldn't find those. We were looking, like deserts. We were looking for deserts and deserts, trying to find deserts. Couldn't even find the desert. And then we found deserts, and nope, wasn't big enough to have one. And then now we found a desert that is big enough to hold three of them. More villages than we can count. More other HBM structures than we can count. Here, speaking of another village and another HBM structure, and the desert just keeps going. There's like another outback or something down there. I mean, this is incredible, man. I can't believe how big this biome is. And after everything that this game has put us through, I'm very thankful. I am absolutely thankful. Alrighty, we went ahead and slept the night away. So that is going to help us out here a little bit. This one does have a blacksmith. So that's cool. We were just complaining about how we haven't found a blacksmith in a while. Let's just mine that like so. And I'm going to be running out of inventory space here relatively soon. Alrighty, here we go. Final thing in this village is renaming this. Random Village 6. There we go. And we're going to continue to explore just a little bit. You can see we're kind of getting to the edge of the dry biomes here. I just want to make sure we kind of fully fill it out. Because we found a lot of cool stuff on the edge of these biomes too. So just to make sure I fill it out completely would be good. There's other HBM structures and stuff too on the edges sometimes. So just, yeah, coming over here. Or missile silos. Like we found a couple of missile silos on the edge, which is cool. Nothing else, so we're just going to bounce down. I'm going to get a bee farm going too at some point. Those are hogs, and they're going to be mean to me. So we're just going to bounce. I don't want any part of them, man. Oh my god, there's so many. So many of those warthogs or hog. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but there's a lot of them. Found another village, another HBM structure, in this desert or outback. Keeps going. We're actually going to bounce this way. And once again, just kind of fill out the edge of this desert. Oh, I almost nailed that cactus, dude. Well, 2 villages in a row with the blacksmith, so luck is on our side. Hey, man, if you guys have been watching this series since episode 1, even if you haven't hit every episode, that's fine. That's understandable. It's hard to get every episode. I imagine there's some episodes you just don't really care about too. With some projects and stuff I'm doing, really, you could skip some episodes and not miss a whole lot. I get that. But if you've been here since episode 1, and you remember episode 1 where we spawned in a very, very wet biome, a lot of swamps, a lot of jungles and stuff, and we could not find a village to save our life. Blood Moon on night 1. If you guys were here for that and you remember that, type it in the comments. Let me know. Hey, man, I was here episode 1. I remember. Because look at us now, dude. Like, we're finding, you know, every time we adventure, 10 new villages. 10 new villages. Episode 1, we couldn't find a village to save our life. And we're finding like 10 new villages per episode now. We have absolutely made it. It is crazy how far we've come. Alrighty, guys, it is official. I am on my last backpack. I could absolutely sort my inventory and be a little bit better and smarter, but we're not going to do it. We're just going to keep pushing. I have all these backpacks for this reason. I figured I wasn't going to sort my inventory very well. Going to do it once we get home. Could do like a full recap of everything we've gotten. Here's something a little bit sketchy or worrisome. I guess, no, never mind. Okay, nope, that's getting back into where we've already been. I was going to say, it looks like the drier biomes continue off in another direction. That is not the case. I'm just making sure, double checking my work there. Yeah, rated that village good. Whoa, wait a minute. Man, I am glad that this was just water, because if that was quicksand, we would be in a world of trouble right now. I don't remember finding a waystone in this village. I just want to double back and see if that was the case, because I did not rename any waystones, or mine any waystones for that matter. Yep, there it is. There is the waystone. I knew I didn't do it. We're going to go ahead and keep that one. I'm looking due south, and there's a desert in front of me, and there's a bunch of desert off to my east that I have intentionally passed. So this desert is just absolutely massive. Is that another one? That's another one. That is a 3rd nuclear power plant that is unrated. So we have found 4 total nuclear power plants. That's insane, dude. I see some more structures back there too. Oh, no, 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 no. Bad bounce, bad bounce, bad bounce, bad bounce, bad bounce. No, sir. Did not want to get that close. Absolutely not. Yeah, that is another nuclear power plant with several more structures alongside it. I can't remember if this structure has a purpose or not. I don't think so, unless it's a spawner. I mean, it looks like a trap, if anything. Holy cow, man, that is insane. Another nuclear, so that's 3 unrated nuclear power plants. That is absolutely bonkers. And look at it, 1, 2, 3. You can see them all on the map here. And there's this big chunk in the middle that's still unexplored. We're going to continue to push southwest and just try to fill out the entirety of this biome. Let me make sure I'm going the right way. I am. Want to make sure. I'm at the point where I kind of want to get the outline of the desert done so I know what we're working with, because this episode could go on for hours if I didn't know the outline. If I know the outline, then obviously I know how much is left and to take my time. There is a factory over there. My goodness, man. We're just finding it all. If you can't tell, man, I absolutely love exploring. I think that's my favorite part of this mod pack, is just exploring, being able to find structures, new biomes, just how cool it is. I played some newer mod packs just for testing purposes. I do plan on doing some more series alongside this one. And once again, Biomes of Plenty just gets better and better with time. I feel like in the newer versions of Minecraft, this mod is just even better. But holy cow, it is good in 1.12.2. I don't care what anyone says. It is just fine here. And there we go. We got that factory on the map. I'm going to kind of take a weird bounce back, because I have a feeling the desert's going to be down here. Look at this massive chunk in between that I still have yet to explore. That is insane, man. It looks like some of it may be an ocean, and that is fine by me if that is the case. Yep, it looks like it is looping back down. I did see a desert temple, or not desert temple, sorry, a desert dungeon over here, and I just landed on that cactus. Yeah, so it's looking like a lot of this is going to be kind of ocean, which is absolutely fine. I am actually a little satisfied we're getting to the end of the desert here. I mean, this thing could have gone on for a long time, and there's still plenty left to explore. I can't believe 4 nuclear power plants in this desert. Mind you, we found several other deserts, and all of them had 0. So the fact that this one made up for it is absolutely crazy. But then, we're not even done. So we say 4, but there very well may be one more just Hail Mary secret nuclear power plant that just right next to us in this middle area. That's a big part, man. That is a big unexplored chunk. Alrighty, we have slept the night away once more, and we are going to explore. And this time, I mean it, I will cut, and I'll be back if I find anything crazy. Whoop, well, never mind. There we go. There's a spawner right off rip. And I like those. And it is a wither skeleton spawner. That is sweet. We got ourselves a landmine there and a spawner over here. It was just a stray spawner, and that is a little disappointing. Oh, here we go. This is another desert temple, and there's another dungeon right next to it, so that could mean there's another village over there. We will see. First things first, let's check out this desert temple. And you know what, for you guys, I'll do the ballsy method, because I know someone in the comments is going to be like, hey, man, you're a coward, all right? Oh, my God. That is so risky, dude. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that method so much. You guys are ballsy. Let me know who in the comment section does that method. I am curious. Are you one of those guys? Because I'm not. I'm not doing that ever again, dude. My life flashed before my eyes. I did not enjoy that at all. that was not fun for me. It does make it easy to bounce out with the slime sling, though. I'll tell you, that method, it's quicker. I'll give you credit. That was a lot faster. But the pucker factor was like 10 times as much. Yeah, man, it is incredible how big this desert is. It picks right back up into the sandy desert. We're getting back up. This is the power plant we've already discovered. So you're going to see a nuclear power plant up here. We've already found it. It is one of the 3 unrated. However, oh, there's a crashed ship over there. Yeah, I was going to say there's plenty more desert. There's a chance that we will find another power plant, man. I almost think there's got to be one more. You know, you think, oh, 3, that's a lot. There's no way there's more than 3. I don't know, man. I don't know. This desert's been so generous to us. There is a shot. And we got a missile silo. We got a missile silo right here next to us. I see something in the ground there. I'm going to check that out. What is this? That is just a cave, it would appear. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, let's check out this missile silo first. Alrighty, what is in chest number 1? Almost nothing cool ever. Chest number 1 for the missile silo has always been kind of lame. But chest number 2, let's check that one. This is the money chest. For the first time, no missiles. We still got a carpet bombing one. Or airstrike designator. Carpet bombing airstrike designator, which is still pretty cool. But no missiles. Our missile stockpile will remain the same after this silo. But man, I love this structure. Well, I take it back. It looks like we're just about out of the sandy desert, so we may not be lucky. We may just be stuck with the 3. We're acting like that's a sad, you know, disappointing thing. Well, whoa! So that's not good. That is not good at all. Well, last episode I talked about how clutch it is to have a bucket when you're in this quicksand. And I think I just proved my point there. I one bucket got the job done. Having more than one bucket would make that a little bit faster, I think. But there you go. That is how you survive a quicksand pit, guys. You need a bucket. I think that's the only way. If you do not have a bucket, you are probably as good as gone. And I don't know how the gravestone works in quicksand. I imagine it's just going to be wherever you actually suffocated. But, you know, I am not really wanting to try that out right now. No, that's the power plant I already found. I was going to say I saw a power plant, but I couldn't tell if that was the one I already found yet or not. And it was. Well, there's another radio and spawner. Here you go. Got a second radio, deadly radio here. Let's see how close I can get to it before it starts hurting me. I got to try a little bit better to be more accurate. God damn it, dude. It didn't work. This is my last missile, so if this one doesn't work, obviously I got to wait for this to go away. I can't make a shot with my screen doing that. That won't work. What type of spawner is this? Another wither skeleton. All right. We will absolutely take that. All right, let's grab our little rocket launcher here and head back. I don't know, man. I thought I was dead on it. Whoops. I got too close again. All right, man, if I miss this. You got to be kidding me. Well, unfortunately for me, that was my last rocket, so I am kind of SOL. How do we add a waypoint here? Here we go. Deadly Radio 2. We'll make it red because that's big and scary. Yeah, there we go. Deadly Radio 2. So, and then there's another deadly radio over there that I had found at some point, but I forgot to destroy. So we got 2 of those now. 2 deadly radios that I have found and need to destroy. There's a safe over here and a dungeon. Look at that. Wait. Oh, no. I got one rocket left. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Third time's the charm. I don't know how I could be any more accurate. You know, like I feel like I was square on it. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I need a little bit of altitude, you know, or some elevation here. Let's get up in the air and maybe shooting from above helps. I don't really know. Yeah, there we go. We did it. All right, sweet. Sweet. All right, we can go ahead and get rid of that waypoint. Deadly Radio 2 remove. You know what's funny? I have my waypoint set as the closest waypoint to me will be at the top. The second closest waypoint is, funny enough, the other Deadly Radio, but it's 9,000 blocks away, dude. That is insane. I am far from home. Spencer K. Far From Home is the name of the episode. Is that another safe? No, it's just a block. There is a safe behind me, though. Don't let me forget about that. I'm going to be honest with you. I forgot where the safe was. I think it was this direction. Yeah, there it is. It's right in front of me. Alrighty, man. First safe of the episode. I love finding these. First try, too. First try. Got some 50 cal rounds. Absolutely love that. I really want to start getting into crafting all the weaponry in the HBM nuclear tech mod. I feel like that is something I've been slacking on quite a bit. Let me double check that weapon. Is that a... Oh, that is a 50 cal gun. It gave me a 50 cal gun and some 50 cal rounds. So that is pretty sweet, man. I feel like I'm due for another dungeon here at some point. I feel like I need to start live streaming dungeons and stuff. I'd like to get you guys a little more involved with the live streams. I need to get a little bit more involved with the live streams. I feel like a lot of the grindy stuff, the stuff that I don't think would make good episodes this far in, 44 episodes in, I feel like that's the stuff I should live stream so I can chat with you guys live, get ideas. Some of the like mega projects too that are coming up. We got some mega projects on the horizon. That's all stuff I'm going to have to do in between episodes because I don't want my episodes to be 8, 9, 12 hours. So that's something I think would work really well in live streams. So let me know what you guys think of that. Should I get more live streams going? With that, we are on the edge of finally mapping out this dungeon, or sorry, this desert in its completion. To its completion. Well, to wrap up this desert, the final structure we are going to find is another spawner. It looks like that is going to be it. We are basically at the end. Actually, there is another dungeon next to the spawner, to give it some credit. But let's see, will it be another wither skeleton? It will. It absolutely will. Sweet, man. There you go. I think that's going to be the last structure. I guess we got one more bounce to see what's on the other side of this dungeon. But we are pretty much there. Yep, and that's it. I was gonna say I don't know how much more we could have. With that, man, holy cow! I'm gonna open the web browser because I need to show you the full size of this biome. My goodness, man! You know what's crazy is we're so far away from home. Like I went on such an adventure that it almost looks like I'm on a whole new world from Nuclear Hearts, but in reality, I just came from up here and looped all the way around. I mean, look how far away I am from home. I live right here. We all the way over here, man. That is far from home. The fact, I'm happy we found this desert. I really am. But the fact that it's this far away is absolutely insane to me. Yeah, I'm going to be a little butthurt if there's like another equally large desert in between us. But man, that is absolutely insane. Look how far we came. And I mean, this ocean, filling out this ocean was huge. But gosh, man, this desert. I mean, look how small this desert is. Look up here, tiny little desert, and we come over to here, and just this massive desert. That is exactly what we were looking for. I'm so happy we found this, man. There's a couple of spots I guess I didn't fill out. There's a little bit of desert here too, but we for the most part we found it, which is just wonderful. That is awesome, man. Next step is I owe you guys another nuclear power plant raid. That is the goal. And let me go ahead and find myself here. I think we're just going to raid the nearest one. Yeah, right here. This solo one all by itself. We'll go ahead and raid that one. These other two right next to each other, we'll raid another time. And we'll raid them at the same time. I think I want to rearm and requip and get a little bit more, a few more tools or pieces of equipment. It really makes raiding easier. I don't really want to go home right now. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt this solo power plant, but yeah, for those two power plants next to each other, we will absolutely get a few more tools and pieces of equipment just to make it easier. I feel like is the big one. Having the radiation absorbers really does a lot. And you can see there's a couple other structures nearby. Let's go ahead and which side am I on? I am on the right side, actually. Yep, this is the side I need to be on. Right here. And same concept applies from last raid. Let's go ahead and put our tools up here. Let's empty our inventory the best we can while we're here. I don't even think I'm going to need the torches. I'll go ahead and put those up for right now. This building's so radioactive, nothing of no life forms could really, exist in it. So I won't really have to worry about mobs for a little bit. Let's see. Let's decontaminate. I don't have much, but it doesn't take much. There we go. I am decontaminated. Should be good to go. What we're going to do is we're going to rush in, break some barbed wire, break the fence, and then I got to break as many of those yellow barrels as possible. If you didn't watch last episode, those yellow barrels right here, all those are essentially what's giving off the radiation. So if I can get in there and destroy them, I have a good chance at taking this building relatively quickly. But you're going to see radiation's going to get big fast. Oh boy, I'm already screwing it up. Already screwing it up. There we go. There we go. Let's back out. Let's back out. We'll go to right here. And just like that, good first attempt. So now that we got all that done, we have to decontaminate a little bit, help myself out so I don't die. There's some more barrels up there. And then the final step is going to be going into those, or really just that building right there. There's some in there as well. So we have 2 more raids. That building's the hardest. It's just close quarters. I didn't really do the greatest last time, so I'll try to clean it up a little bit, man. There are just so many dead birds here. I said mobs couldn't, survive with all this radiation, but here you go. There's like spiders or something underneath me, man, and they are thriving from the sound of it. So I don't know necessarily what's going on there. Let's go ahead and be as fast as we can and bounce up into here. Let's get rid of these barrels here. Yep, that's going to be big. Let's mine this. This radiation or this uranium block gives off a little too. And then we can retreat. Yep, we're going to go ahead and retreat down to here. Let's decontaminate a little bit. Oh, there's a spider. I heard the spider die. So, nope, they're getting rolled as well already. But cool. So 2/3 of this structure has been cleared so far. We got the outside and the inside in there. Now we are going to bounce around to the front. And we're going to... what a clutch play. All right. That was cool. I don't care who you are. That was pretty cool. I am proud of myself for that move. I was going to take a lot of fall damage there. Let's go ahead, decontaminate one more time. The next plan of action is that building right there. We got to get inside that building. And unfortunately, we got a river and some contaminated dirt in our way. And that is going to be a bit of a problem. Doesn't matter. We're going to give it our best go anyway. We're going to run over here. I'm going to try to bounce over the river just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and get one of these down. Let's mine it at least. If we can get that down. My goodness. That is a lot of radiation. Yep, that was a lot of radiation, man. This building's always the toughest. It really is. It is always the toughest. We need more of those. And those are the level 1 absorbers too. There are better absorbers out there. Actually, are they level 1? I can't remember if I made level 1 or level 2. I feel like I need to make level 2. I don't know if I could afford level 3. Sometimes they get kind of advanced with what equipment you need. But even if I had more level 1s, if I could just kind of scatter them around this facility or the future facilities, I think that would help me out quite a bit. Good news. I was able to get that barbed wire, so we're going to try to get a bounce. Yep, there we go. There we go. And then we can swap it out real quick. And we're just going to try to run in here and get as many as we can. Do a quick lap. Nope. We got to bounce. Gosh, man, that is just a ton of radiation. I was trying to go in the water. I was debating going in the water there. I thought I could get a little bit, but if I would have done that, it probably would have killed me. My goodness. There's a leveled up hazmat suit too. We were just running the bottom tier basic hazmat suit. Why are bards taking damage? Is there a village nearby? There is. No. Yeah, there is. Yeah, okay, right up here. So a villager must have come to the southeast here in search of like trees or wood, and he is now getting radiated. Unless he's on a cactus. I would assume he's getting radiated, though, if he's this close to me. Unfortunate for him, man. And he's a bard, too. No, that doesn't make sense. Why would he be getting any wood? He's a bard. I don't know what's going on, man. I wish I could tell you. I can't. My goodness, man. Shit. Shit, 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 shit. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. Oh, no, that is a lot of radiation. Yep, we're gonna die. Oh my gosh, we may not. That's either gonna be a clutch play or the end of my existence. that was a lot of radiation, man. All right, we were able to sleep the night away, so credit where credit's due. I got a radiation observer in that building. The problem being, it's just really hard to get into that building right now. That is the biggest problem. I was able to get in there once, and I was able to get rid of some of the barrels, but man, there are just some underwater that are just so hard to get. You almost have to put it all on the line and just say, all right, I'm going to die. I'm either going to succeed or I'm going to die, and just go for it, because gosh, yeah, this is going to be risky. We're going to give it a go, man. I got one absorber down in there. I'll try to get a second one, but gosh, man, it's just you just get so much radiation by the time you get up to the building. Like, look at this, 34 radiation a second, man. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. That is good enough, man. We got most of the barrels. There's a couple left in there, but I'm going to come out, decontaminate. We should be able to clear it with the next entry. Actually, I'm not even getting radiated out here, so I am good to go, I'm pretty sure. But my goodness, man. These structures, if you're not prepared, these structures will kick your ass, man. It is no ifs, ands, or buts. They are kind of tricky. I guess if you're patient too, kind of like I have been, if you just go in and out, in and out, in and out, just like little bits at a time. If you guys have ever watched the Chernobyl documentary, and you guys know the people on the roof, how they went out, and I think they had like 30 or 60 seconds to go and like get a shovel and, shovel it back into the core. Like, I can't remember what those guys were called, man, but they had a pretty badass name, man, their job. But yeah, it's like, all right, man, you got like 45 seconds to get a shovel, throw it into the fucking core, which is open, and then you're done. Like, that is it. You can never go back to Chernobyl. Like, I may be slightly off with their jobs, but gosh, man, that's kind of what this feels like. Yeah, there we go. We have officially decontaminated this nuclear power plant. We have done it. We can go and pick up our absorbers, because I will forget them. We have learned time and time again, yes, I will forget them if I don't pick them up right now. Now we get to do the fun part, which is loot this place. And unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is going to be radioactive, so we got to be careful. Grab all of that. There we go. Drown, because we don't watch our bubbles, because we're not very smart. And then get back to the bottom, we can mine this chest. And with that, guys, if you did not watch last episode, I was just double checking the barrels. If you did not watch last episode, you won't know this, but in this room over here, this second portion of the cooling tower, there is a Fat Man bomb. And yes, if you are curious, you can absolutely mine it, which is absolutely sweet. Now, it's not armed. It's, I guess I called it a dud last episode. That is not the correct terminology. I'm just going to mine out of here. I was trying to be smart and bounce, but I couldn't be accurate, so we're just going to leave. It's not a dud. It's just de-armed, so it is a Fat Man. If you go and you get the right parts and pieces, you can absolutely arm it. I don't have that stuff yet, so it's not something we're going to be able to do in the near future. Hopefully at some point in time we can do it, but I wouldn't expect it too soon. I would like to do a test. I think it'd be pretty badass to do a test at some point. Let's jump onto here. Yep, there we go. Grab all of that. We're actually being a little bit smarter than our first attempt on a nuclear power plant. The first one, I was just holding all kinds of radioactive items. I was like, where's all this radiation coming from, man? What the hell? Like an idiot. But here we go. This should be the final chest with radioactive material in it. And that is a ton. That is an absolute ton. So let's do this. Yeah, I was getting quite a bit of radiation there for just a second. But cool. With that, man, I think we've gotten all the radioactive material out of this building. So we are now 2 out of 4 power plants rated. The other 2 being right here. And then the fourth one that we've already rated was up here in that village. But that is sweet, man. 4 nuclear power plants. Not bummed. I don't want to say I'm bummed, right? Because we found the structure we were looking for, which is this. We found 4 of them, right? And that's pretty sweet. A little confused, I guess is a better word, not disappointed. There are some other structures in the HBM nuclear tech mod that really only spawn in the desert. And I was expecting to find some of those, but we did not. And the fact that this was, this large of a desert and we still didn't find them, a little confused. I think that's a fair thing to say. Not the end of the world. Well, albeit they're cool. If you go and you play your own nuclear tech mod playthrough, and you'll find the structures I'm talking about that spawn in the desert. They're cool, but they don't really have anything like super duper important. Like these buildings here, they have so much radioactive material from the waste buckets to the actual, uranium ingots and nuggets and stuff we found, to some of the cells. We found some cells too. You almost need to come here. You can get the stuff without coming here, but I prefer to come here. The other structures I'm on the lookout for, you don't necessarily need anything from. There's no items that are like unique to the structure that you can't get from somewhere else. But it's still always fun to raid new buildings, man. I feel like that's been my favorite part of this series. Nuclear furnace. You know what? I did not mine there was one of these in the other power plant, and I did not mine it, and I kind of regret it, and I apologize. I feel like I may go back and grab that now, because that is kind of cool. All right, we're just going to mine that, and then throw all the items in our backpack. And what a perfect time to raid this building and really, call it a wrap. Our 5th backpack is pretty much full. Our final backpack that we brought along with us is approaching its maximum capacity, and couldn't be at a better time. We're going to mine as much of this as we can. There is one more chest in here. Yep, let's go ahead and get it. Yep, some dust and stuff, so we got to be smart. Ooh, oh, cordite. There we go. That stuff has coal dust. Do not want that to be in your inventory. It will hurt you. But with that, man, this power plant has been raided. We got all the chests. 2 out of 4 power plants have been completely raided. I'm going to be honest. We're going to go next door. We're wrapping it up here, right? I think we're at over an hour for recorded. I'm sure once I edit it, it'll, decrease a little bit. But, no, I don't want to raid this whole building. We'll just do the top here, all right? We'll just come here and do this one right here. Check out the secret chest here. Actually, nothing too crazy in here. A little bit disappointed. I thought there'd be something a little bit cooler. That is okay. We're just going to mine it. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. And with that, our inventory is now pretty much full. I don't think I could hold much more. We can go ahead and put some of our tools and equipment back into here. I actually found one rocket. There we go. We got one rocket back. Yes. Let's go ahead and take our hazmat suit off. Put our slimy boots back on. We can put the hazmat suit up here so it's safe. And then, yeah, we can go ahead and call it for this adventure, guys. I'm going to go back home. We'll go back home and, check out our inventory. We'll do a full rundown. And that may be it for this episode. I was actually debating doing some HBM crafting with you guys at the end of this episode, but the episode is, like I said, kind of going a tad bit long. Not long, just it's approaching an hour. And sorry, I got a little distracted there. And I think I'd like to sort my inventory before we really dive into some more HBM crafting of the technology, all that stuff. I'm hoping this village has a waystone, that I kept one here. No. Why would I? We're going to go ahead and put it back. Thankfully, I mined plenty of waystones on this adventure. So we'll go ahead and put it back. I didn't raid this village at all, did I? That building still has all of its stuff. We'll name this second nuclear power plant, sorta, because it's in a village, so it's not really a second nuclear power plant. But all right, let's go ahead and grab this stuff since I have not raided it, and then we'll go home. Look at this, man. I have exactly, all right, 1 inventory slot left. I was gonna say I have exactly enough to hold everything in my inventory, but nope, we have 1 extra slot. Now we're returning home, man. Going back home. My goodness, that was an adventure. That was awesome. I'm gonna put all of my stuff. Alrighty, we are back. It is about to be nighttime. I had a game crash. That is what happened there. I guess I did a little bit too much before the world loaded in. To be fair, I was well over 10,000 blocks away, so the game was probably still trying to load in some chunks and stuff, and I guess I went a little too hard too quickly. Nonetheless, we are back. I'm going to show you all my backpacks here. Let me sleep the night away, and let me kind of sort out my inventory just a tiny bit so I can hold all my backpacks. Alrighty, there we go. I thought it was only like 4 or 5 backpacks, but I actually have 6 full backpacks. I mean, filled to the brim. I'll start here. Backpack number 1. This is my tools backpack. The whole bottom half of this is filled with tools and stuff for when I go adventuring. Nothing too spectacular there. Backpack number 2. I mean, it started episode 43, guys, where we raided some desert pyramids, and we got a bunch of gold leggings and stuff. Pretty cool. That's probably going to be the big ticket item that I am seeing. I mean, all kinds of stuff from wither skulls, gold. We're going to break all this down into steel. A ton of stuff in it. From there, a little bit more. I think this was the second pyramid we raided, but then just all the different ingots we got from the crashed ships and stuff. Actually, there's a few crashed ships that I remember we passed. We didn't even raid. So there's just so much more out there for the taking. Some spawn eggs from the pyramids, supply drop requester, 2 mini nukes, a nuke grenade. Right, all that's pretty sweet. Backpack number 3. Sorry, backpack number 4. Let me get my numbers right. Our first Fat Man, a ton of radioactive material from our first power plant raided. I see at least 1 missile. I remember we got a couple of missiles. So there's probably another. Yep, right here. Here's another one right there. So there's at least 2 missiles. More gold, 3 diamonds, emerald, all kinds of stuff, man. Just tools out the wazoo. Backpack number 3. Of course, there's going to be more radioactive material from that power plant. Nuclear catapult. I see at least 1 more airstrike designator and at least 2 more missiles. I thought there was a 3rd missile in here too somewhere. I am not seeing it though. Oh, right there. 1, 2, 3. So 3 more missiles. Bonkers, right? And then 6th and finally, our final backpack from the 2 episodes, part 1 and 2 of raiding that desert, episode 43 and this episode, episode 44. This is it, man. Final backpack, a bunch more radioactive material. And just so much more stuff. And I'm going to be honest, we're going to sort this in between episodes, but I did the full run through. You guys watch me gather all this material between the 2 episodes, and then I did a full backpack showcase here, showing you every single item we got. A lot of junk. I didn't do a great job sorting either. Like, realistically, this is probably only 5 backpacks worth of stuff, but because I did such a bad job sorting, there's a 6th backpack just because I have multiple items in every single backpack. And I wasn't super efficient, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and sort it now, and we'll kind of talk about everything. We need a place, and I think it's up here. Let me just double check. I just want to let you guys know before the episode ends what my plan is with all the radioactive material. I need a place to put it all. What was up here? This was the antimatter chest up there, and while that is important, then that's there for a reason, because if that stuff drops, it blows up on contact with the ground. So I do not want that anywhere near my house. I think I'm putting all the radioactive material in this one, and I sure am. 2,000. Jeez, man, I forgot that thing existed. That is absolutely insane. Well, what we're going to do is we're still going to put it down there, but I have this fancy little contraption here where I can stand here and throw it in a hopper. That way I don't get radioactive. We'll go ahead and throw all that stuff in. I just got to be careful. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're still good. I don't want it to backfill and then me pick it right back up, and then it just radiate the shit out of me. That looks like it for that backpack. We'll keep it going. I think that's it for that backpack. Moving right along. Oh, yeah, there's going to be plenty more stuff in this one. Hydro explosive. Huh. I don't know if that's something I want to put in a crate that I'm putting underwater. You know, it's not radioactive. It's not radioactive at all. It's just if you put it in water, it looks like it's going to blow. And my crate is in water, so I don't know if I want to put it down there, to be honest with you. We may hold on to that one. We may put that upstairs or something, as far away from water as I can possibly get. I'm going to double check. I don't think there's anything radioactive in this one. No, I am not seeing it. I think that is going to be all. Yep, I don't see anything there or there. So there we go. That is all of our radioactive material that we got. And wow, we almost filled it up, man. That is crazy. That is a ton of radioactive material. Holy cow, imagine holding all that at the same time. That would be absolutely bonkers. But hell yeah, man, that's only 2 of the 4 power plants too. We get all that stuff from just 2 power plants. So expect to double that here whenever we go back. Next episode, I think we're going to try to do something technology or building based. We've done a lot of exploration, so maybe we'll take a break from that Definitely expect us to go back to that desert and raid those other 2 power plants here at some point. I absolutely want to go back. So we will do it at some point. I'm going to go ahead and start sorting my inventory. And as always, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you who watch the videos and who, like and share the videos. I know some of you do that, and I really do appreciate that. Uh, expect some more posts on my channel for naming villages. I mean, there's probably 50 villages that are not named, and I think we need to go and name them. So expect that in the future. And with that, man, I will catch you all in the next one.